Bethesda has released a new featurette, and I'm going to take a look at it. And so here's a live reaction to what this new featurette is. Fallout, the world of featurette from Prime Video. Let's take a look at this sucker.
This is a dream come true for me as a director because you're picking up the mantle of something that so many talented writers and artists have worked on for so many decades. And we knew that we wanted to tell an original story within the Fallout universe.
We were drawn to the idea of creating characters who would embody the different factions that Fallout is so famous for. So a vault dweller, a ghoul, a member of the Brotherhood of Steel.
We wanted to show as much of the world as we can through different lenses, and it just makes you lean in.
Okay.
My name is Lucy McLean, and I'm an active contributor to the well-being of my community. She is doing her duty. She's rebuilding America, and then she really has her whole world rocked.
With that British accent.
She comes out onto the surface and experiences the world for the first time.
Excuse me. Hi. I just want to ask you for directions.
And then it gets real ugly, real fast. Hello again.
The ghoul is someone who has seen the worst that we have to offer as human beings. He's about as ruthless as they come. Fallout explores the chasm between the haves and the have-nots in a world where it's kill or be killed.
We find Maximus as a recruit. He's a part of the Brotherhood of Steel. Seeing these T-60s, something that symbolizes power, it's a moment of awe. The introduction of Lucy, I don't think it's anything that he would have ever expected.
The Wasteland is very different from the Vault. Fallout does a really great job of showing both sides of that coin.
I love a big setting, so to be able to juxtapose the real human emotions with this large scale is a kind of story that I like to see.
There's a tone reminiscent of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly meets Doctor Strangelove meets Star Wars.
Balancing the darker, more emotional moments with the profound humor creates the unique tone of Fallout.
You're an actual vault dweller.
I am.
I thought all you dipshits were dead. Practically every person I've met up here has tried to kill me.
You have never been on a ride like this before.
Look out at this wasteland, looks like chaos, but there's always somebody behind the wheel.
April 11th, 5 days. Let's just go through it a couple frames at a time right here. So we're gonna mute it, and okay, cool, pretty typical. They're just showing clips from the trailers that we've already seen. That's interesting to see. I guess that's Ella Purnell's character, who's the one wearing the white dress. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be about. Wedding, maybe? Somebody mentioned Vault 22 before. I haven't seen any Vault 22 indicators anywhere. Still very nice graphically as far as like the outdoors go, but then we see this. This is, if anything was gonna turn me off, this is it right here. What the fuck is this? Is this they fly now, you know? Like, what the shit? Is there any particular reason you have to make Iron Man again, you know? What the fuck is this? I don't know where this is going in from, or where it's coming from, or why. There is no particularly good reason to do this to the power armor. The cool thing about the power armor in all of the games, and particularly Fallout 4, and can't really say the same thing for Fallout 3 or New Vegas, but for Fallout 4, was the landing. The idea was that you have a nice solid landing where the earth shakes. That was the point of the Fallout 4. Here he just lands on a dime and it's all dainty and nobody really feels the earth shaking from the giant suit of armor hitting the ground that would have made a very impressive entrance. This is not that. This is not that. This is silly. This is a bad decision in several ways. There's no reason to do this. This was somebody trying to show off their CG budget, really. Yeah, that's right. You could upgrade it to a certain point, and I think you could attach a rocket eventually. But still, like, if this is the character and their introduction to the character is he ends up being a low-level paladin, I'm not really sure. Like, I'm still I'm very mixed on that one. that flying power armor thing is gonna, it's gonna just kind of sour me quite a bit. But otherwise, and my bigger issue with it isn't that it flies per se. My bigger issue with it is that the introduction is just a flying power armor. Like, that's all of the cool parts of the power armor ideas from Fallout 4 gone. That's my problem with this scene. All the weight of the power armor, all the actual destructive ability of the power armor, just completely not here in this flying power armor scene. I think they're kind of pushing this in a little bit too much of a religious direction if they're going with candles. But all right. It's not like it's too dissimilar from the original. I don't really like the idea of them throwing candles up for the priest interpretation, the religious interpretation of the Brotherhood of Steel. There was a religious caste system, sort of, that you could apply to it. In Fallout 1 and 2, that was basically in name only. The priestly caste was kind of the research class, and then the warrior caste was, the people who donned the power armor and went fighting, but they weren't religious in tone, the way they were actually presented. There were basically people in charge and people who did research and then people who fought. That was just the three branches of it. There might have been some ceremonies, but they weren't ever introduced in Fallout 3, New Vegas, or 4, or 1, or 2. None of the ceremonies really existed. But again, none of them presented any of their things with candles, as though this was like a Catholic ceremony, I don't really know why they wanted to use candles in here. They're like overemphasizing the religious part of it. That was never the intent. That was never displayed in any of the Bethesda games or the original Black Isle games. So I'm a little bit suspicious what direction they're taking this. Like, are they praying to a god at this point? Is that what they're trying to do? He's got a censer. A little smoking thing right out here the Catholics used to take around and bless the pilgrims with. Like, seriously? That was never a thing in the original Fallouts. They're taking this into a heavy religious direction, if that's what they're going to do, what it looks like here. All right, a couple new characters, interesting. Ella Purnell's character introduced a little bit more. Very much like Fallout 3's introduction from the look of it here. Although there's more gardening than there was in Fallout 3 or 4. Very, very much like Fallout 3's introduction. This, I still feel like this might be a dream sequence and not really anything else, because she's like, the whole white dress thing, kind of looking like she's supposed to be getting married. I don't know what they're going for there. Laser pistol, that design, questionable, but I'm not gonna like rag on them too hard for having a new design for a laser pistol. Whatever. Interesting interaction. I'll give you that. Might be decent humor for the writing. Yeah, I think that intended to show the cult part of the Brotherhood, like Crusaders, because in the ranks they present themselves as a knight order, even in the ranks, and a Crusader pretty much warrior monks. I do not know. It's not a laser pistol. You say so. Not that I could tell. Not that there's any way. It's a needle gun, I think. You think it's a needle gun? Oh yeah, I think you're right. That's because that's what she was firing in other shots in the previous trailer. I think you're right. Okay. Redesign of the needle gun. I'm cool with it. I'm not gonna hold it against him too much. It's kind of silly looking. I'm not gonna hold it against him too much. It looks kind of silly, but otherwise it's fine. The Crusaders thing. Okay, like what I'm saying is the cult part, that was never a thing in any of the Bethesda franchise or the Black Isle versions of Fallout. The leadership and combat part of it, yes. We worship the god of brotherhood or whatever, the god of the Brotherhood of Steel, not a thing. And if that's the direction they're going with it, I'm gonna be like, really? What are they actually going for there? What are they really trying to say? So that's what I'm saying. Let me try and say this in a different way. If they push into the religion really hard, that is 100% Jonathan Nolan trying to make some sort of commentary that has nothing to do with Fallout. That's what I'm trying to say there. Like, what Jonathan Nolan's commentary on the religion that he's trying to portray in Fallout is, that's the question that I would ask if they're going to go heavily in that direction. Are they going to go heavily in that direction? I don't know. Anyway. What I'm saying is that cult part doesn't exist. Neither Bethesda, Black Isle, or Obsidian's version of the Brotherhood of Steel. They're not there worshiping them like like they like they're holy or something like that, like they're superior human beings or they're worshiping a god. That is not a thing in any of the Fallout games anywhere. What is there is a command structure. That's how they're partitioned: research and development, leadership, and combat. That's the command structure they have. They do use some religious verbiage to differentiate them. Pseudo-religious, because not actually as directly on the nose religious as you would expect, but pseudo-religious. But straight up having a priest class that actually blesses the soldiers, that does not happen. And so anything that has to do with that is brought in directly by the people who are producing the show, not by Bethesda or anybody else. And that makes me question what exactly they're going for. Anyway, I don't know, outside of the Adams religion, there isn't even a trace of Christianism or religion in general in the series that I remember exactly. Yeah, there's very little actual religion in the series at all. That's true. And the Children of the Atom, that actually is supposed to be a cult. That's the closest you get to it. Anyway, let's keep going here. I do like, this looks like actual prosthetics instead of a green screen cutout. It looks really good. If it is a green screen cutout, they did a good job. The drug overdosing ghoul thing, I think that's a little silly. They may be playing this up a little too much, but we'll see. Walton Gong is obviously the best actor so far, as represented in the trailers and the previews. I don't have any question about this. He looks a little chunky for a Brotherhood of Steel scribe. I don't know. What do you think? Like, both these characters look a little chunky. Like they don't really train. Like there's one guy in the background. He looks like he actually trains here. Not this guy. This guy doesn't look like he trains. This guy I can't really tell, but this guy looks like he has a little bit of muscle on him. These two, I don't know. I guess maybe they train a little. It seems like they need to do more cardio, but whatever. However, again, this still looks like the most interesting character out of the entire set. Drug-abusing ghoul who's like a gunslinger, kind of silly, might be interesting, but nothing is presented about him. This character, the Brotherhood of Steel initiate, who is training and trying to go up in the ranks, looks like perhaps the most focused character out of the set and one of the most interesting character out of the set so far. Love that ghoul appearance. They do a good job. The makeup needs to be more green, in my opinion. I'm not gonna diss it too much though. It looks pretty good for what it is. Not sure where they're going with this. Parts of it, like a lot of the effects look good. Somebody pointed out to me, this is a beach, not a desert, and that's true. That's totally a beach. That's actually the ocean there. There's more of these wedding shots. I'm really curious what's going on with that. Is she gonna be married? I don't know. Or is that just part of a dream sequence? The explosions look cool. They look like real explosions. Hopefully, they actually, I'll say this. That looked like a real reaction to a real explosion. So if that's CG, they did a good job. But I suspect that's actually a real explosion. They actually exploded some shit in the air behind the guy. They're going for practical effects. I'm down. That looks pretty cool. The sign in the background's well done. I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. The vault shelter thing. Congrats. I don't know what's up with this stupid cake. This is like every single trailer has this stupid cake in it. But anyway. All right, cool. Interesting face portraits. They really love this line. Really love showing off the, hey, you idiots, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then it's just a bunch of quick sequences that were clips from there already shown off. And I'm gonna say, I think this is played up a little too. This is gonna be silly if he's gonna push with the slow motion gunfire. That might be played up a little too much. It feels a little cheesy. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll make it work. It feels kind of cheesy though. Like, I don't know if anybody ever saw that old show, The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. That's the kind of stuff they used to do on Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. It was a super cheesy, super silly show for kids, and this kind of feels like that. But maybe they're not. Maybe I'm just reading into it. Rest of it looks pretty good, and we've already seen all these clips. A lot of these clips anyway. What the f was that? What the f is this? What the f is this? You should. Why didn't they at least cut about here? Because if they just cut right there, it wouldn't look like she just completely fell down and missed the whole thing. That a bad cut there, but what otherwise? And what the hell is this? Okay, so the Vault Dwellers are also have a religion? Is that what's going on here? Okay, so now I guess we got a vault with a religion in it. Cool, I guess. I mean, that's not like that didn't happen, but I'm not really sure where they're going with this. And that's pretty much it looks like. So one more time, I'm gonna look for Vault 32 in this thing. I'm just gonna look for the number 32 because somebody said there was some Vault 32 stuff. That is definitely, oh, there, oh, yeah, they're right. They're right, that right there, Vault 32. I'm poking at his butt. Vault 32 right up there. Somebody did point out Vault 32 to me, and then they are right. There is definitely Vault 32 here, and we already know the characters in the main group there. The pregnant blonde lady on the left, we can see her, and then Ella Purnell's character in wedding dress, I guess. So she's marrying somebody from Vault 32, maybe? Or prisoner exchange? I don't know. It's kind of silly. But Vault 32 is making an appearance here. I'm quite curious where they're going to go with the Vault 32 stuff. Also, do they have a clipboard attached to their belt there? Like, what is up with that? I still don't like that. Hold on, was there any Vault 32 stuff back here? Yeah, totally. Look, there's a Vault 32 character right there, right next to two Vault 33s, and then a Vault 33 right here, and then a Vault 32 right there. Where you can see that 33 clearly on the far right, bottom corner there, and then just to the left of them is another 33, and then left of that is another 32. And then up above that 33 in the corner is a 32, two people up from her. And yeah, so we have a mix of 33s and 32s here, interestingly. We already know from previous trailers that background is completely projected, and that looks like another wedding cake right there, and I guess Ella Purnell's character is supposed to be getting married. And I get the impression all this stuff is going to happen on her wedding day, unless this is a dream sequence, because it could still be a dream sequence. This is an interesting, I guess, new character that they are introducing right now. I don't know who this is. They don't show anything any more of her. This is what they show of this guy. So I'm curious what's up with that. So let's back her up. Okay. Our American history, 1776, 1969, 2077. 2077 being the year the bombs fell. Curious why they don't have anything after that. And curious why 1969, this is the American flag they're going for there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 stars plus a big center star. Is this supposed to be represent the 13 colonies, or does this have anything to do with the number of vaults that they're in touch with? Interesting. What is before here? Declaration of Independence. Okay, pretty traditional for 1776. Okay. I'm also, another point real quick. There's like 5 different types of corn. Corn of the Vault 33 farm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different types of corn listed right here. I'm curious what's up with that. I bet some of it's genetically engineered. I'm kind of curious what they're going with that. This scene right here strongly suggests that's a dream sequence. Still not sure where they're going with it, but all right. At some point, the U.S. divides into 13 sub-federal zones. I forget what it's all about, but the idea was seated with the Fallout 1 shot of the power armor soldier in front of a flag with the 13 stars. I thought that had to do with the NCR stuff, but I do recall that. You're right. That's a good point. I forgot that in the lore. Interesting shot. I assume he just finished battling a slime monster here. Either that or he crawled out of the sewers, one of the two. About the nuclear destruction. That looks just like a regular bomb. I always imagined nuclear explosions rather, to produce glassy surroundings, but whatever. I'm not going to hold it against him too much. Doing those kind of shots is probably not easy on the CG department. Still, I really like that. I really like the because it looks like he's actually reacting to an explosion here. That really looks like he's getting hit by some shrapnel. I swear this has got to be a real explosion. I'm pretty sure that's a real explosion. That's nice looking stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. I'm still not interested in the giant CG fight with a bear, but you know, it's real jello. Yeah, it looks like it. All right, that's everything I've got for this. I can't think of anything else I would contribute to it. This is, I'm still kind of interested in it and kind of questionable in some things. I'm not really sure I'm not really sure what was up with this. This seems like a bad idea. But, you know. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you guys think any of these ideas that kind of seem to be floating around through here are actually worth exploring? Or do you think that, actually, I want to know, do you think that's a dream sequence that she was having with her wedding dress and the Vault 32 characters? Or do you think that was a real thing? We'll find out in 5 days, but I'm just curious. That's the big question I have.